Afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Henrique. I'm a radiologist. And before diving into the real-time performance in the topic about real-time performance monitoring, I'd like to share a little bit about the organization that I represent. So Einstein Hospital Israelita is a non-for-profit organization. The first hospital was founded in 1971 in the city of São Paulo. It operates in a complex ecosystem of 7 hospitals. 2 of them are private and 5 public ones. Actually, in the near future, we'll be adding 4 more extra public hospitals to the system, and they are all spread across different regions in different states in Brazil. This geographical distribution makes significant challenge to management and coordination. But through a public-private partnership, Einstein works together with public healthcare administrators to help meet their needs for care, technology, and skills. And since then, the hospital has become a reference in the state of art of treatments and humanized care, and has expanded its borders with social responsibility actions, education, and research activities, warranting some international recognition as one of the world's best hospitals, specialized hospitals. It is now holds the place of the best hospital in Latin America. But now let's talk about artificial intelligence in radiology. Even if you only focus in the states of São Paulo, where Einstein's main diagnostic units are located, we already face a major challenge: maintain a standardized level of care. This complexity requires more than operational excellence. It demands intelligent system that requires more than that can provide visibility and actionable insights in real time. And this is where performance monitoring is critical. So before we move forward with that, let's start from the beginning, and talk about something that many of you have probably experienced, which is evaluating an AI solution to decide whether if you would implement that in your workflow or not. So at Einstein, we usually create what I call internal benchmark data set, which is a curated set of exams designed to represent the clinical routine within our institution. Because using a standardized data set help us to perform a more objective comparison between different AI solutions, and it gives a clear way to assess which model performs best under our specific conditions. Please, Drew. So here we have an example. We are evaluating 4 different models for a specific use case, for instance, detection of bone fracture. So you can easily see which one would be better for you. And in fact, we also had some opportunity to evaluate different versions of the same model. So here you can see we actually evaluated 3 different AI solutions. The 2 in the bottom are actually the same company, but with 2 different versions. And here's an interesting insight. Not all updates work equally well for every client. So in this case, we found out that the previous version was actually better for our environment and delivered better results. So we actually asked for the company to do a rollback to the previous version, so because it was more optimized for our case. This experience reinforces an important point. Evaluation is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process that ensures AI remains aligned with the real-world requirements and deliver consistent value. Another evaluation that we conducted focused on potential automation bias among our radiologists. This was an experiment we first ran a couple of years ago and repeated earlier this year. The goal was to understand whether AI results could influence radiologists to increasingly accept AI output over time, leading to higher agreement rates. We tested this using an AI solution designed to detect stroke in head CT. Our hypothesis was that the aspect scores reported in the radiology report might gradually align more closely with the score suggested by the AI tool. So to verify this, we simply compare the AI, the aspect scores reported by the radiology and the one that was signed by the AI tool. This we did in different setting of time. So we did a baseline test before deploying the AI solution, an year after that, and more recently, and compare the rate of agreement. Interestingly, the results showed no such trend. This means that the final decision remains firmly in the hands of the radiologist, which is reassuring from a clinical governance perspective. It reinforces that AI should support, not replace, expert judgment. This is very good, very nice, but I think there's always a limitation when you consider this kind of evaluation, because we can only conduct this kind of experiment looking back, doing like a retrospective analysis. So there's a gap between when we collect this data and when we can have some real actionable insights. And so far, we've discussed the importance of evaluation and how it helps to make an informed decision about AI adoption. But what if you could take this concept further, beyond the isolated assessment, and turn it into a more continuous process? That is the essence of real-time performance monitoring. So whenever I saw this kind of findings in our exams, of course, I was always happy to see some value that these AI solutions can bring to our clinicians, to our radiologists. But I was always wondering, can we do more with that? You know, we already have some data here. Can we do something else with that? And thankfully, this wasn't only my thought. Actually, the need for continuous monitoring at our hospital was born from two different challenges. The first one came from our analytics governance team, which oversee all AI models running in our hospital. And the second one was a concern raised by our medical colleagues. We realized that we had some more passive position when it comes to identifying possible issues with AI usage. So maybe I would receive a phone call from a colleague saying, "Oh, Henrique, I think you should evaluate your AI because something might be wrong. I'm not receiving the output, or the output seems a little off." So usually we have like this gap between when something went wrong and when I started to investigate that. And why that happened? You know, when we first started to investigate that, we found that most of the problem was regarding the primary problems that we see with every AI. You know, it really depends on the performance, depends on the equipment, on the population, imaging protocol, and even staff. So any change in the routine that wasn't communicated to our team could lead to some unexpected results. And we only became aware of this deviation when someone reported them to us. So over the past few months, we've been working closely with the CARPL team to develop this continuing monitoring project. Initially, the goal was very, very simple. We want to track the performance over time. You know, like everybody have already thought about that. But as we advanced, I realized that the system could deliver much more than just this trend analysis. Full disclosure, this is a work in progress, so I don't have all the data yet, but I believe this is still a very interesting topic for discussion and for sharing. So, please. The first advantage of continuous monitoring is visibility. For example, here we have some dashboards of 6 different sites with each one of them representing the past 5 months. So here we can easily compare that at first, at glance, we can have like a sense of stability. So everything seems to be working fine. But if we do some intentional deviation like this here you can see easily something is different. It doesn't match the rest of the sites. It doesn't match with the rest of the dates. And I think this is very important as like the first great advantage, the visibility. Yeah? Of course, this visual impression alone doesn't confirm that something went wrong. But act as a signal. From there, we can start investigating what happened with that model, with that unit, with that specific time of period. So next. So this is like an example of how we can further investigate what happened in that specific time and the specific site. Of course, as I mentioned, it is still a work in progress. So we're still playing with different dashboards and graphs. But I would say that another powerful advantage of having a dashboard like this is really the ability to create more task-specific views. For instance, I don't want all this information because it's very polluted. Maybe my manager wants to follow only some specific findings, the critical findings or findings that may warrant the patient a long-term follow-up. I can filter that. I have much fewer exams, and I can direct these cases, these patient reports, to our quality assurance team, for instance. And then can identify which patient really needs extra care, added care or not. And even if the AI finding turns out to be incorrect, our team can still verify whether the additional care is needed for this patient, moving us closer to more equitable medicine. So we're giving the best treatment for each patient. In short, what started as a simple monitoring tool is evolving into a platform that improves quality, accelerates decision-making, and creates new opportunities for proactive care. These are some more ideas of dashboards for continuous monitoring. We're still trying a lot of things. I think this is also an example of how we can maybe easily identify a difference in trend. Again, this was manually changed. So you see that from one month to another, you see a decrease in number of exams, but for one specific critical finding, there was an increase in the rates of specific findings. Again, I don't need to wait somebody to call me to say, oh, something is wrong. I can proactively look for it, And next, please. More examples here, working closely with CARPL. The idea is to maybe prepare more environments that not only the radiologist could have access, but maybe other professionals as well. Next. Another example. Next. And this idea of dashboards and continuous monitoring is aligned perfectly with our hospital vision of becoming a more truly data-driven organization. So to illustrate this is a photo from Operation Center, in which they monitor a lot of different systems in the hospital to see if how many patients are being discharged, how many patients are undergoing surgery, how long is it taking for each of the surgeries, and so forth, so on. This setup ensures efficient care and minimize waste. And I think this is the same principle applies to AI monitoring. By integrating these dashboards into our governance structure, we move closer to a model where decisions are informed by data, enabling proactive intervention and personalized care. So, what we've learned from all this experience, monitoring alone is not enough. The real value comes from information when information is accessible, understandable, and delivered to the right person at the right time. With CARPL, we are building this platform to act as a hub to aggregate data from multiple sites, standardize it, and present through intuitive dashboards and reports. This allows teams to make more informed decisions quickly and confidently. For me, real-time performance monitoring is not just a technical feature, it's a strategic enabler. It ensures that AI solutions remain reliable, scalable, and aligned with our clinical needs. Also, it unlocks new value from the models that are already deployed in our hospital. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to your questions.